concept of human in the loop when it comes to GenAI projects, right? So as we move forward, right, how do you see the role of the assistant that GenAI provides you, right? So the AI assistant GenAI gives you, and then there's you, right? So how do you see this interaction go on? Because that becomes very important fundamentally, right? In terms of, how do you really build a certain scale path?
So I would say when we started, I have faced with one issue, and I'll be very candid here, that some of the members who were part of team, and I see that often in various teams. First of all, people think that AI can do everything. So that means AI can take up my job as well. So there is some amount of insecurity, which I could see. Then we had to explain those people that no, this is an assistant. This will just augment your performance. You can be very fast, but still there is an element of inertia. That do I really need this? Because either I expect too much, or I think this doesn't work in my area. So bridging these gaps is very, very important. If you ask me, I think the thanks to organization, ITC, because in last 12-13 years, I never had a feeling of any insecurity here, because the kind of freedom, flexibility, and the very reason I'm sitting with you, or the reason I could do this project, is because the freedom that my leaders, my bosses, senior management has given, that to explore new areas. It doesn't matter if we fail, it's okay. So from that point of view, I feel immensely powerful. And I know that tomorrow is going to be very interesting, because if tool is with me, if GenAI is with me, I would rather find many avenues, small, big, medium, where it can make maximum impact. And once this presentation was done to the Digital Council, from various walks of organizations, we are getting calls, right? Can we do this? Can I do that? I have 5 million documents. I want to, introduce my product's rich history of 100 years to the newcomers. So you can see applications are flowing. Now, it's not challenging for the tool, but what is challenging for me probably is to convert that expectation of a given manager or a department or a team into tools, capabilities, and potential. So that's the journey. Very enriching, very enjoying, slightly challenging, but we are on it.
Last question. So when you look at AI, right? And the future of AI, the way people actually are, putting out a view on this is that it will be all-encompassing, all-pervasive, right? And so on and so forth. What do you think would be the challenges in terms of driving that kind of vision? So there are projects which are giving success, right?
Yes.
But how do you really now basically drive a view? And I think you touched upon some of the constraints, the challenges that you experienced, right, with your team, and probably also with our team, right, as we went through that entire project. So how do you really see this moving forward, and what are the biggest challenges that you would see in terms of scaling this up?
See, we are giving enormous power to the tool, to GenAI, to basically take up a large scale or a large amount or large quantum of our jobs, our creativity, our outputs. So what will happen 10 years ahead from now or 20 years ahead from now is eventually every organization will have this power. So will I have some strategic advantage over the other organization? Because this will become a generic pool of tools, and we can see that anybody and everybody can use various GenAI tools which are free or paid at a minimal cost. So it will become a generic strength in everyone. Now, in that particular case, how do we still maintain the competitive advantage is going to be a bit challenging. So I would say a human mind, its creativity, and how do we deploy the tool seamlessly in various value chains that we use will probably be our mantra. That's how we should be doing. Otherwise, any organization will have this power. For me personally, I think I'll try to use max of it, because an immersion into the tool gives a lot of pleasure, because I'm basically a science or a technology background person. So, we get mesmerized when we see that a tool is able to do this. So today I have trainees and interns. Tomorrow I have digital interns and digital trainees, and they will do specifically what I want to do. So the way we are going to work is going to be very, very different. So flexibility, dynamism, open mind is very important. I don't think future is scary at all, but we will have to put a lot of stretch on our own creativity, because that is where the tool is not equipped to that extent today. So we will have to probably, sharpen the muscle of creativity that we have today. But it's going to be very interesting times. And people say that 1 year is a too longer timeline for AI to change our lives. So we have to be very fast. Agility is most important on our side.
I think very, very well said. I think the technology is evolving so fast. You need to be agile to keep up with the new capabilities that are evolving. And also in terms of the adoption, the agility in terms of organizations having the culture to embrace it becomes so much important as well. Thank you very much for this interaction. And I think it's always a pleasure interacting with an expert like you, who's also basically been at the leading edge of adoption of Gen AI within ITC. So thank you for this particular.
I must thank you, and thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for all the help, support from you, your team, and the journey continues.